There's no longer favorable climate with an electric car than Southern California. The year-round temperatures are in the actual happy zone for lithium-ion battery function, and also the winter is indeed mild that neither range-sapping heat nor AC is required for about 5 months of a year. The political climate is also right, together with the state and lots of its cities offering additional incentives to acquire an EV, atop the federal spur that will return around $7,500 into a buyer's pockets. From using the carpool lane when driving solo to no-cost meter parking in Santa Monica to free charging when parked at Lax while you're winning to somewhere with worse weather, California would really think it had been swell should you'd stop driving your fossil fuel burner. There's also a bill while watching state assembly that, if passed, would require new passenger vehicles in California to become zero-emission by 2040. Oh, and there's another $1,000 to $1,500 available for you if you get less on your pollution machine, and ways in which about a $500 rebate to generate that home charger more cost-effective. High's silent drivetrain, punchy motor, longer range, fast charging capability. Low's overly cautious driver assist systems, center-grade interior. The Chevy Bolt and Tesla Model 3 have superior range. Verdict: a giant step to the Leaf, a smaller leap for F-kind. The incessant stop-and-go traffic that paralyzes the LA basin is a best-case scenario on an F, including the new Nissan Leaf. Redesigned for 2018, this Leaf looks nothing beats its predecessor, a vehicle that begged the dorkiness meter deep into French territory. If the brand new car looks less being a Renault Megane and even more like the love child of the Nissan Murano as well as a Chevrolet Bolt, we take into consideration that an improvement, setup 0.28 drag coefficient, the same in principle as before, means it's still shaped just like a doorstop. Dinking along in traffic in the school of unwashed Corollas and RAV4s is manufactured more palatable from the Leaf because of the near silence in the electric motor, now making 147 horsepower, up from 107. Electric motors solve two small car problems: an old-fashioned lack of torque along with the noise of the strained four-cylinder. Under the hood, where you'd expect an internal combustion engine being, is a huge metal cube that houses the power delivery module, the inverter, plus the electric motor. Only 67 decibels of motor, wind, and tire noise help it become into the cabin at full whack. At 70 miles per hour, a speed briefly attainable in LA, there's a luxury car grade 65 decibels. Noise problem solved. Yet despite 40 more horsepower, the Leaf's acceleration is not for being confused with that of the Tesla Model anything. A 0 to 60 mph run takes a respectable 7.4 seconds, nonetheless it's the torque that impresses. A mere tap from the accelerator releases a dry gulch of instant push, 236 pound-feet's worth. That's beneficial to a quick 2.8-second jump from 30 to 50 miles per hour, enough to flatten your occipital bun in the headrest. Just don't smash the accelerator excessively or the air-cooled, 40.0 kWh lithium-ion battery, 10.0 kWh in excess of before, will become discharging like it's a dollar store to sell. Nissan claims a 150-mile range, plus our estimation. It's possible to extract that, though you'll need to become gentle and slow, a couple of things CD editors usually are not. We left our desert testing facility that has a 98% charge and also a 151-mile range displayed. Cruising along at 75 miles per hour, we remarked that the range started falling faster versus the odometer was climbing. Slowing to 65 miles per hour stabilized both the readings and ensured that we'd easily allow it to be back to LA. This approach even retained enough juice with a 34-mile step on the San Gabriel Mountains for the squiggly Angeles Forest and Angeles Crest highways. There's little incentive for taking an F onto a canyon road. Nevertheless, the Leaf's platform, an adaptation of the predecessors, mounts the battery inside floor. Putting the load low assists in keeping the Leaf's 3,494 pounds by using an even keel. The Michelin Energy Saver's tyres were clearly chosen for his or her low rolling resistance, and so they start howling well short on the 0.79 grams of accessible grip, though the Leaf isn't ever beyond sorts. Steering feedback is good and also the low-grip chassis is unerringly stable. Along with the motor's torque can launch the Leaf from corners with no trouble. Just don't turn around the ProPilot Assist system part from the $2,200 technology package on our mid-level Leaf SV when you're over a fun road. On gradual curves or possibly a straight road, ProPilot Assist centers the Leaf in a lane and, should you ignore the Nissan's warnings, permits hands-off steering for a couple of seconds during a period, provided it may read the lanes. Its ability to do it is shown above the digital half from the gauge cluster. Nonetheless, it signals by having an annoying beep each other and every time it loses the trail. As with all adaptive cruise air control systems, speed rises and falls in accordance with traffic, but we discovered that ProPilot Assist slowed the Leaf down prematurely. And too frequently, to your point of being seriously aggravating. ProPilot Assist won't steer through sharp curves, though inside name of science, we tried it inside canyon anyway. The system does slow the auto for tight corners, nonetheless it prefers speeds and forces that will make you believe a Sears driving school instructor is operating the brake pedal. There's nothing pro regarding it. To result in the pain of going slowly a little easier, Nissan fits the revolutionary Leaf by having an e-pedal function which could be started up and off. Flipping the e-pedal toggle ahead in the clam-shaped shifter injects Novocaine into your accelerator in an effort to mellow out any eagerness as part of your right foot. But the e-pedal's best trick is increasing regenerative braking. Without touching the brake pedal, the motive force can steadily and predictably bring the Leaf into a complete stop. Should you hit the brakes at 70 miles per hour, the Leaf will stop in the long 191 feet. But in traffic waves of acceleration and deceleration, e-pedal driving can be a major convenience. When you try it, you won't wish to go back. Back home after our instrument air testing session, the Leaf showed 41 miles of range remaining. Add that for the 105 miles traveled, and also the Leaf may have gone 146 miles in your mix of freeway cruising and canyon road bombing. Plugged into a family group 120-volt outlet, it took about 26 hours to replenish. On a 240-volt unit, an empty to full charge is said to consider about 7 hours. A fast-charging CHAdeMO connection is optional on base S models for $1,590 and standard on SV and SL trims. Public 440-volt DC fast chargers have a claimed 40 minutes to bring battery to 80% charge. We found a timely charger. They're outnumbered by 240-volt units by about 10 to 1, but it turned out of order. Alas, even L.A.'s love of Fs isn't perfect. With a similar 106.3-inch wheelbase since the first Leaf, the revolutionary version provides an identical 93 cubic feet of passenger space and 24 cubic feet of cargo room as last year's model. The interior is a lot more attractive for 2018, though. The large digital display next to your analog speedometer is configurable inside a number of ways, plus the touchscreen works quickly and without bugginess. That said, the Leaf's interior quality feels on par using a $20,000 Sentras, which is really a reminder that after you buy a Leaf, you're essentially choosing a $20,000 car plus a really expensive battery. Its conventional design is nicer compared to the old cars, nevertheless it's still a little bit chintzy. Without incentives, the Leaf starts at $30,875. A mid-level SV like our test car comes standard with fast charging capability, a 7.0-inch touch screen, 17-inch wheels, navigation, adaptive cruise control, and Android Auto and Apple CarPlay for $33,375. Our tester also had the technology package, including ProPilot Assist, LED headlights, plus a power driver's seat, along with the all-weather package's heated front seats, tire, and outside mirrors. Adding splash guards and floor mats brought the complete to $36,845. Nissan's pricing places the Leaf below the $37,495 Chevy Bolt, using its 238-mile range, and above cars such as Fiat 500e, which could go only 87 miles using a charge. The Leaf's larger battery and superior range provide a major edge over marginally more cost-effective EVs. Even so, the same logic applies when you compare the Bolt together with the Leaf. Nissan usually grasp that logic and definitely will soon give you a 60.0 kWh battery, matching the Bolt's. That ought to take the Leaf's range beyond 200 miles. We'd be remiss whenever we didn't mention the Tesla Model 3. Tesla promised 220 miles of range because of its 3 at the starting valuation on $36,000. However, the company currently only builds a long-range 310-mile version that starts at $45,000. Nissan's little electric car affords the most range with the money, besting the 124-mile Hyundai Ioniq F as well as the 125-mile Volkswagen e-Golf, which might be similarly priced. But adding ProPilot Assist as well as a number of creative options puts the Leaf perilously close on the Bolt and Model 3. We've yet drive an automobile 3, though the Bolt is a lot more fun to operate a vehicle and goes farther on the charge compared to the Leaf. Going farther is what's most significant in this class of EVs, and however the Leaf is vastly improved plus much more practical than before, the Bolt makes its way past California dreaming.